Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Teaching the Basics. My name is Utyo. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that whenever I post a new video, you get notified. So let's get started. Today we will talk about system calls and its types and virtual machines. So let's start with system calls. A system calls provides an interface to the services made available by an OS. So what do I actually mean by this first statement? That you request your operating system to perform some job, and according to your request, everything and anything that a operating system does is in the form of services. Okay, so now this is a definition of an interface, because some of you may get confused about what is an interface. An interface is a shared boundary across which two or more separate components of a computer system exchanges information. Okay, so this is the definition, and the source is from Wikipedia. So the next thing is that these calls are available generally as routines written in C and C++. All those routines that are available during the system calls are basically written in C and C++ language. And so the definition of routine is, we can say that it is a portion of code within a large program that performs a specific task and in relatively independent of the remaining code. Okay, now you can say that a routine can be like a method, can be like a module or a function. Okay, so that is the thing. And the next point is, but yes, but to perform certain low level tasks, this assembly level language is also required, okay, to write those routines. Now let us consider that there is a source file, and you are to copy that source file into a destination file. Now to perform this basic, this is a basic scenario, right? So to perform this basic task, uh, you need some, there are lots and lots of system calls that that takes place without your knowledge. Okay, you just see when you are copying a file, if there is an interactive system that you are using to copy a file from a source to the destination location, you just you need some messaging systems that interact with you. There are maybe some input output system that operates, that performs this operation. So all these operations that are getting performed when you request for a simple operation is handled by a system call. Okay, so let's I hope this is this makes my point very clear to you. So let's move on with the next slide. So there are basically 6 kinds of system calls. The first one is process control. It helps, basically this process control system call is used uh, in this creating a process, the process creation or aborting a process, loading or executing a process, terminating a process, waiting for event or signal, allocating or reallocating or freeing a memory. All those operations that a process deals with is handled by this process control that a process requires. Okay, like a forking or forking of a child, or you can, if you understand the term fork, in that is creating a sub child or creating a child process, or creating a process used with the help of a fork command. Okay, So these kind of things gets handled by this control system calls. The next one is a file manipulation or file management system call, that is all creating a file, the operations like creating a file, deleting file, opening closing file, or reading from a file or writing into a file. These kind of things are handled by this file manipulation or file management system. The next one is the device manipulation or the device management system call, that is there is a requesting for a device or releasing a device, reading from a device or writing into a devices, or getting the device attributes, or setting some device attributes, or logically attaching or detaching a device. This kind of operations that requires the this device manipulation or device management system. Then comes the information manipulation or information management. All in this information or information maintenance. Sorry, there is information maintenance system call, that deals with the getting a system time, or setting a system time or date, or getting a system date, or get some system data, or setting some system data, getting some processes or file or device attributes. Pretty much all the informations that we require is maintained with this information or manipulations. Now, the next one is the communication system calls deals with the creation or deletion of the communication connection, or sending or receiving a message, or transferring status information, or attaching a detaching a remote devices. Okay, so this is what this system calls do in this communication part. And the last one is the protection means the deals with the setting the file security, or initializing the security descriptor, or setting the security descriptor group, the how much permission that we provide to some files while reading, or who can read a file, who can execute or write a file, or who is eligible to read and write and execute. All kinds of permissions that required in is handled by this protection system. So the let's move on with the next slide, that is a virtual machine. Now let's first understand this virtual machine with a few points. The first point is that the basic idea of this virtual machine is to abstract the hardware of a single computer into several different execution environment. These execution environments are this guest operating systems that you will see in the next slide. I will be providing a image of a virtual machine, and you will know you can see that what I actually mean by this. Okay, so the next one is an yes, and it also, this virtual machine also creates an illusion that each of the environment is running in its own private computer. This is the basic idea. Okay, to use a single hardware and creating an illusion that all those and this hardware gets accessed by their some guest operating systems, and this and every guest operating system will have a idea, or will have a feeling that that operating system is running in its own private computer. So the next point is with this technique, an operating system host can create the illusion that process has its own processor and with its own memory. Okay, so it provides an interface that is identical to the underlying bare hardware. Okay, so the number of the number of devices that is attached in the host operating system is also available to the guest operating. That is the basic idea, and that is what I mean by this point. And the next point is each guest process is provided with a copy of the underlying computer. Okay. The next one is this is how a single physical hardware can run a multiple operating system concurrently. and its own in its own virtual machine. Now this is the image that actually describes, there is the in the underneath there is a host hardware, and there is a host operating system, there is a virtualized application, like the virtualized application, like you may have heard about VMware or VirtualBox. Okay, so this VirtualBox application or this VMware application helps us to install a different operating systems in that their virtualized environment, and with that virtualized application, this guest operating systems run. Okay, you can install multiple operating systems in your virtualized application. Okay, and each of these guest operating system can have the access of the host hardware. Okay, and that is the basic idea of creating. And there is also one thing that in a security perspective, if one guest operating system gets affected by any kind of virus or malware, then it is not going to get spread into other guest. So this is how a virtual machine provides security in a security perspective. Okay. So this is pretty much that you need to know about a virtual machine. So in my next lecture, I will be talking about a process. What is a process? And we'll discuss about the process concepts and process. Please like my videos and share among your friends so that they can benefit from it too. I will be posting my next video very soon. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you.